Excited to have the folks from WebZero with us today. WebZero is an immersive Web3 marketing agency, or a life marketing agency, you could say, and also a Devro force within the Polkadot ecosystem. You may have seen Roman and Zoe on a recent Space Monkeys episode on the Kusumerian. So I encourage everyone to go check out that interview after this live stream, of course. But we're just going to talk about some of the events that are coming up, specifically Berlin Blockchain Week. And I thought we could just start from the top with you, Roman. And could you just tell us a bit about what exactly is WebZero? What's your mission? And maybe talk about some of the recent events that you guys have put on.
Sure, happy to. Thanks. So WebZero started at Berlin Blockchain Week in 22. So that's kind of our birthplace, and that's the kind of vibe, the culture, the aesthetics that we now ship around the world. And we represent Polkadot by doing side events, hackathons, activations that are just like out of the ordinary, I would say. We always try to play with the genre, come up with new ideas. We now have a bus. We just showcased it in Toronto. So we acquired it after ETH Denver, which was also a multi-day event. So basically what we do is we curate spaces for developers first and foremost, and invite everybody else, even if they don't build on Polkadot yet. Yeah, I think that sums it up well.
How was Consensus Toronto, by the way? And can you maybe tell us a story or two about the infamous pink Polkadot bus that was seen driving around town?
Yeah, I think that was like, such an exciting thing. I mean, actually thrilling, because the bus broke down on its way from Denver to Toronto. So it came a day late. And how good it was when it was there. So we had it parked in front of our venue on Queen West, which is like the lively street in Toronto, or one of them. It was like an extra lounge for guests during the event. And we used it to kind of troll the main event. So we took the bus. I mean, it has a stage now, and we had our Polkadot champion Fungi Flows, who's a freestyle rapper, together with our art director Dim Spirit, performing in front of the Consensus venue and blasting up the whole block.
Nice, I saw that.
Yeah, these are a few highlights.
Yeah, I saw that video of Fungi Flows on the roof, kind of calling people, calling them out on the street, and they're kind of looking like, what the hell? So a super memorable moment, which is what I think you guys are. Yeah,
go ahead. There was a Blue Jays game happening around the same time the bus first came in front of the venue. And it was really cool because, a lot of people were just stopping by and being like, what's going on here? Oh, what's Polkadot? So I think this bus was not only a tool for making the events more engaging and fun. Like we hosted some DJing on top of the bus and stuff like that. But it was an interesting marketing tool for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think I've ever had that many normies come up to me saying, what is Polkadot? And I can see them on their phone. They're typing in polkadot.com and they're just scrolling through being like, this is so fascinating. Thanks. And a couple of them actually ended up coming to our parties that night. So we were on board with the masses, and that was a great activation.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
And I love the subtle connection between Fungi Flows and a certain type of Polkadot mushroom and so on. I mentioned in the intro that you guys are also a force for Devro. So maybe we could come to Sasha quickly, and just for those that are in the Polkadot community or the Web3 community but aren't developers, can you just tell us a bit about what exactly does Devro mean? What is Devro?
So the answer to the what is Devro question can really be manifold, and really spans from doing developer relations to help core engineers be developing the right features, let's say, or being in touch with the other engineers using those features. So namely, Papermoon is doing an excellent job in this role in the ecosystem. Then you've got sort of the DevRel that is facilitating hackathons and providing mentorship and being the sort of the facing front of whatever the technologies are. And as we all know, Polkadot has a lot of different things that developers can be building with. So that's many things. And that role is kind of facilitating a hackathon and making sure that teams have the support that they need and things like that. But without going into all of the DevRel roles, internally there's a lot of DevRel roles in Web2 companies and Web3 companies that are crucial for communication between what the engineers are building and how the marketers should market it. For example, that's a big theme in DevRel. But what we do at WebZero, I think we kind of are uniquely positioning this developer relations role to kind of have a foot in all of those areas, but really focused on delivering experiences and events for developers. And so by nature, you cannot just show up as a marketer and think, okay, we're just going to have like a brunch and that's it. We need sort of a little bit more of more targeted engagement and creating and curating content for developers to come and stay. So a big way that I kind of see the three of us on the WebZero team here, we kind of each have a very, very integral role to delivering these events. Zoe makes sure that the developers will show up. Roman makes sure that when they show up, they have a really great space to want to stay. And I make sure that they actually show up.
Got it.
That I bring them to these events. And this means luring developers with things like workshops or hackathons or bounties, etc., and kind of bridging the gap by creating the content, whether it's technical or just events, on that end. So
got it. And the events aren't just for developers, because I myself, who am not a developer, was at ETH Denver, and I was so happy to make it over to the Blockspace Mansion, which I think returned for its second year, or was it its third year? Yeah. Second year.
Second.
Cool. And it was a great place to hang out, grab a drink, have some food. And then what, to me, I think it's all about is just connecting with people, right? Having those conversations where people can really kind of let go and speak their mind. At the actual conference at ETH Denver, it's a little bit stuck up, a little bit rigid, but at the side events, I feel like is where a lot of the magic happens. So Zoe, can you just tell us a little bit about the Blockspace Mansion and maybe give us like one or two of your favorite moments from that whole week?
Yeah, you really hit the nail on the head when you said like creating a sort of environment where it's cozy, it's warm, it's inviting, which you often don't get at conferences where you have to pay $10 for a cheeseburger. So we sort of do the whole 360, the catering, the developer relations, the inviting as well. And like you said, when the hackathon agenda is on pause, we do invite the marketers in, we do invite the designers in, we do invite the artists in, and we all want them to commingle and see what we're building, see what we're doing, and say, hey, I want to join in as well. So yeah, we invite everyone from sort of all ecosystems to see this is the real Polkadot. It's not this sort of like boring, stuffy brand anymore. It's cool. And Polkadot's here to stay, and this is all the cool things. And come watch our amazing builders and see what they're doing. And that's sort of like for a whole week. So I think we had about 2,000 guests in and out of our house. We absolutely went over our guest estimation, and we had a few damages to repair, especially the downstairs bathroom. So we're definitely on the trajectory of. Yeah, this is a success, and I'm really excited. My top moments were definitely not fixing the toilets. They were just, I think, trying out new nights such as Mario Kart Olympics, where we had 100 people from all chains participating in the Nintendo 64 game. So that was really beautiful to see, and yeah, people giving up their differences from different chains and competing. So.
Awesome. Yeah, it was a wild success again, I must say. Also, you guys did SubZero in Bangkok this year. Want to maybe
reset.
Just the reset. Yeah, maybe just, we don't need to spend too much time on it, but maybe just kind of, maybe Roman, tell us what you wanted to do differently from previous SubZeros with the reset.
A lot. So for one, we transformed more like an industrial building into this like 6-floor hacker haven, I would say, like 2 conference floors. Then there was a hacker floor. There was a rooftop. So many things to do, and we did do a lot of things. So our first goal was to become kind of like this sort of festival character of an event, right? Not just like a normal conference that has its talking schedule until 5 p.m. and then it stops at 6 p.m. and everybody leaves and comes again at 10 a.m. right? So that's something we wanted to specifically avoid. We did do a full conference content, everything like a full schedule, but we had more than 18 side events in the 3 days of the event happening in the same building. So it was really like for any taste, you could do something. And that's always what we aim for, right? Like we want to create spaces that are absolutely inclusive. Like Sasha said, okay, first, like we have some target groups that we care a little bit more about maybe, or we want them to feel well, and then everybody else too, and combine these ideas and give them a space to discuss these things, right? And I think, yeah, in SubZero that worked really well. We had like a great attendance. I think we had more than 2,000 people, which is really good for a conference like this. And on the first day we had to close because there were too many people waiting on the street to get in.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a wild ride, and we just wanted to show like the diversity of the community, and we will do more of that, like really involving a lot of groups and give them their little piece of it so they can they can build it together with us.
And got it. And who does all your graphics and branding? Because it's like each event has its own sort of theme, and I just love. Who can you give a shout out to for that? Is that Dim?
To Joel, Dim Spirit, who's our art director, and he started with us for SubZero, and since then he's been a fixed part of the team, helping us with all of these designs and the merchandise, and we really want to make a mark on that, because otherwise it just ends up in the bin.
And the merch is getting crazier and crazier each event. So yeah.
Sasha's
showcasing what we gave out in Toronto. Yeah, different.
Nice.
Each event has a theme. So the conference space was run by gem hunters, famous gem hunters. So you can see a lot of like diamonds and gems on the design. And I think Joel has a real good time sort of coming up with different themes and processes. So yeah, can we talk about the Berlin merch, or is that too soon?
Well, yeah,
let's very limited.
So you guys have all of this experience putting on these awesome events. People love them. Try to have a little bit of a edgy, cool underground vibe to them. And now all your attention is turned to Berlin Blockchain Week, which I believe starts around June 13th or so, middle of June. And you guys have quite a lot of events planned. So let's save the merch for a little bit later. Maybe we get a sneak peek of it. But how about we just do an overview of what you have in store? I can also pull up the Luma calendar and we can kind of browse through everything. But first, just tell us, like, why is Berlin special to you guys? Berlin is a hub for Web3. One of the parity offices is there. A lot of the, sort of founding team of Polkadot are based there or were based there. What is it about Berlin that's special to you guys? Sasha?
I think in general, Berlin historically has been the breeding ground for some of the best Web3 projects, really, in the early days post immediate Bitcoin days. So namely, Ethereum was launched there. Cosmos has a really strong developer community over there. And there's a bunch more that I think Filecoin has an office there, but so it has a historical significance too, right? That just to start with. On top of that, we're all from Berlin too. WebZero team is all based in Berlin, and I love living there for a lot of reasons. And one of them is there's a kind of like counterculture for those that are into that. There's a kind of like art scene for those that are into that. There's really something for everyone in Berlin. I find, no matter what is your passion or whatever. And I think that naturally fits really nicely to the type of Web3 persona, generally speaking.
Right. Totally agree. It's got this cool underground vibe to it, for people that, as you said, are into art or, clubbing and so on. It's really got it all. So, okay. So Berlin Blockchain Week coming up June 13th. I'm going to pull up the Luma here, the WebZero Luma calendar. So, there's a lot of events planned. There's There's a jam event. There's a ping pong party. There's a rave. How fitting. So who wants to kind of just take us through some of these events, and we can kind of go into each one in a little bit more detail?
Yeah, we're still adding to the list. So I think in total we'll have about 15 events throughout the week and growing. So we're not all about just parties, right? We want to have a nice mix. But casually or usually we always start off with a nice opening party. And yeah, if you were here last year at Berlin, you noticed the Blockspace. This is making a comeback. So we are completely transforming. I know a club probably doesn't need transforming. We're transforming a club into a Späti, into a co-working space, into a place where you can chill, connect, but also like it's going to be just like a 5-day hub of everything going on. And a Späti is sort of these convenience stores that you get in Berlin, a mini market or an off-license. And they're sort of like the buzzing hub to be. You feel safe when you enter one. You meet your local and they see you in all states of the day. So we really feel like it's fitting. And yeah, we want to bring everything to Berlin. So whether our private chef who's going to be on, his team is going to be on the ground, it's going to be a barbecue with currywurst stands. So people can really engage and hopefully stay all day. So it's going to be open from, I think, 10:30 a.m. till very late in the evenings, as much as we can stand up or as long as the party survives. So we also do have a break though, and like to have like to protect ourselves. So that's the general page. Yeah.
So I was going to ask what a Späti is. So it's sort of like
it's a bodega.
Bodega.
No, that's a bodega. Yeah.
That's the word.
Bodega. Got it.
Or in French, taba. In American, in the States, it's bodega. Berlin and Germany's Späti. In French, it's a taba. It's where you can buy your anything really, ranging from cigarettes till beer.
So there will be crypto beers available to take home with you, and there will be a shop as well. So we go all out.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have a lot of things in store for this event. Some surprises we might not want to give away yet, but I can already say, we're gonna have set design in the interior and exterior, and we have one artwork on display, which is maybe Zoe, you want to talk a little bit about that, because I think it's really special, and it really brings everything from Berlin into this place that we can physically
So not only have we, we're all about like the Berlin culture, and we've actually commissioned the artist. Everyone knows Berghain, the cultural techno institution that's famously difficult to get in. Well, the Späti won't be difficult to get in. All you have to do is bring good vibes and an interest in Web3. But we've commissioned the artist Joseph Ma to bring his one of his sugar statue pieces. One of them actually resides in Berghain right now. It's an 8-foot candy actually made out of sugar, and it resides in the downstairs bar of Berghain. So we're bringing that little piece to the Späti as well. So there's lots of little cultural moments as well when we're bringing that to the Späti.
Awesome. So Sven won't be the bouncer at the door, but you should RSVP if you want to get in, because space is always limited. You will have a bouncer, okay. Yeah. And space is always limited at these events. So for our viewers, definitely head over to WebZero's Luma page and make sure you RSVP if you plan to be in Berlin.
It's more about also showing up in time, and the merch. Oh, I saw it again. Oof.
Oh yeah, let's go to the merch. Tell us about the merch.
We are doing slightly different for the merch that I do want to announce, and that the most exclusive items, for example, the kimono, they're only going to be available at the workshops. So we work hard and we play hard. So you got to attend the breadth of our events to get some of these pieces. That's alpha there.
Got it.
Yep.
So that's how you score the merch. You have to show up to the workshop. So again, all of these events are on the WebZero Luma page if you want to come check them out. Let's just go back to the main page here. So what's up next? Okay, Jam. Everyone's talking about Jam, the join accumulate machine. It's what Gavin's working on at the moment. What's this event?
We're gonna have Sean Tabrizi over. Giving a whole talk on it, and we want to give this a good stage. I think it's important to show people what's coming next and to the wider ecosystem.
Awesome.
And Sasha, do you want to add something to that?
I think it's becoming increasingly a point of interest for developers outside of Polkadot. You know, in the Jam implementers, we're seeing a lot of sort of software engineers with solid Web 2 backgrounds coming in and really curious about Jam. But I'm hoping, and during Berlin Blockchain Week, we're attracting a lot of core Ethereum developers, a lot of core Web 3 developers really interested in Jam. So it's like Roman said, it's like so important that we put a stage for Jam, for people to learn about it, for existing Jam implementers to network and like, you know, share where they're at with, you know, working on their client implementations. But I think, and I imagine that Sean will be delivering an introduction for why we should really be caring about Jam and where things are at with the current development. So I really recommend everyone to join this event. You know, everyone that I meet in the Polkadot ecosystem, we're including myself. It's like, what is Jam? What do we know about Jam and stuff like that? So if you still have doubts, just make sure to be there.
Got it. And you could not have picked a better person to represent Polkadot and speak about Jam. I mean, Sean's presentations are very digestible. He, cuts out all the fluff, top notch. So you really, if you're curious about Jam or just Polkadot in general, you should definitely go check out Sean's presentation at the Jam Berlin event on, what is that date? Is it Friday, June 13th?
Yeah,
evening.
That's before our opening party.
Got it.
Hopefully it doesn't mean any bad luck. But I think it's going to be an amazing kickoff to the rest of the week. So that's one of the first sort of presentations in the space. So
okay, amazing. Which one should we double click on next?
I mean, the opening party we've discussed. That's sort of a general one that's always busy. With Dim Spirit, aka we've talked about him a lot, the brand designer. He's also an amazing DJ. So here at WebZero, we do wear multiple hats, and yeah, some of us just have many hidden talents. The co-working and private chef, we also have this sort of everywhere we go. So most people think we outsource the catering, whereas with WebZero, we have a chef that's actually on the team. So he comes with us everywhere. And he has a restaurant in Berlin that's it's called Accurat. It's pretty big. So.
All right. And those parties go late, and they're known to get a bit, they're fun. So that's definitely one, if you want to get in, you have to show up early and be on time.
Oh yeah.
That's why the workshop is there conveniently. If you definitely want to guarantee a place, come to Sean's workshop.
Amazing. All right. I did hear you mention, Zoe, that there's a private chef. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
You guys have a private chef on tap for the weekend or for one of the days. So
always. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And they're cooking up. Yeah, go ahead, Roman.
Or I can talk about it. Yeah. It's been an experiment that we started at the first East Denver Blockspace. And so we have Chef Daniel Forbes, who's a personal friend of mine, and he does a really good job at catering. So we started to figure out how we can do this catering in-house. So because it's like it's a lot of money that you spend on food, and of course also drinks if you host events like us. So this has shown to be highly efficient, and we saved a lot of money and got better quality out of it. So it's been really a good good journey with having all of this in the team.
Awesome. Yeah, and after a long day of going to talks and networking with people, and it's always good to, like I said, at the Blockspace Mansion in Denver, I showed up, there was drinks there, food, so
yeah. I just want to add, this event is sort of like the staple WebZero event, whereby at any hour of the day you want to show up and have a quiet place to work, or just like have a meeting, grab a snack or whatever it is, this place facilitates exactly that. Whereas I think throughout major Web3 conferences, there's oftentimes like a conference that has like a small workshop here and then another place here, and then people are jumping around to just get the food, and they don't really have a place to like actually hang out and like network and like properly like talk with somebody. Like this is the WebZero sort of
base camp.
Hack to that. Yeah, the WebZero base camp. Yeah, I mean, so we do this at all of our events, and I think that it's where you want to be when you want to have some quiet time and some good Wi-Fi.
I was gonna say, so if you're sort of in between meetings with people or whatever, you can come by the space and work on your computer for an hour or two. You have Wi-Fi, and there's a little quiet space if you need it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's like, that's the idea. We just run in space for multiple days, make it work for everybody all the time, basically. And then you have your events where everybody comes. But it's quite nice being there in between events as well. So we have a lot of people that just come for that and hang out and make connections, have a nice bite.
And speaking, I mean, just in general, with like conferences, Web3 conferences, I mean, could you guys share some of your best tips? Like, wear walking shoes because you don't realize how far you're gonna be walking, or like, make sure you have a big breakfast. I mean, do you have any, go out of your way to network and share your contact information with people, because you never know about the connections you'll forge at these events. Like any other sort of tips or just observations from your experience in conferences and at side events that you guys want to share? I know Zoe's got some good tips for us.
Yeah, well, like the thing is, we always fulfill that, right? You say like, make sure you have a big breakfast. A lot of people, and I've seen this, they will come to the Blockspace, eat their big breakfast, and then go to a side event and then come back. Because like, I think we tick the boxes of everything you need to do while going to a conference. We're always very, very central. So our criteria is the venue cannot be more than 15 minutes away from anything else that's going on. So yeah, my advice is go to the Blockspace, stock up on whatever you need to do, go to a side event, find out that our side events are the best, and then come back. But in all seriousness, I've been to a lot of conferences over the years, and I think just like try to not exhaust yourselves. A lot of pre-research as well, reaching out to the right people. I'm not a big fan of this taking selfies of someone and adding them on Telegram. I'm more of a add each other on Twitter and get to know each other. So yeah.
and just to add on top of that, I think it's also prudent to know who you like. If you're going to these conferences with a specific goal in mind, it's good to pre-connect with people and then set a time to meet up, because I mean, as we all know, we all work remote, as the whole Web3 industry does, essentially. It's really nice to meet up with people in real life, have a drink, have lunch, whatever. And, it's amazing how much you can get done in a small 30-minute meeting, as opposed to hundreds of telegrams or hundreds of emails or DMs on Twitter. So that would be my piece of advice.
That's also sort of why the agenda or the scheduling is more for networking. And we've just sort of got a habit of reducing the pitches and the panels to be really digestible, really knowledgeable, but to get as much information as possible so that the real magic, which is the networking, can begin. So sort of like we'll have Sean's presentation, and then there'll be dinner, and then there'll be more networking. Like we provide the ripe or fertile ground to create these connections, which will hopefully further Polkadot. So
yeah,
awesome.
For sure. And not packing the schedule, like Zoe just mentioned, is a big, I think, learning that we've managed to acquire over the many events we've done so far. Evan, you mentioned like, what's your tip? I think you just mentioned a really good one. Like, go there with intention. Like, why are you at Berlin Blockchain Week? Do you want to learn more about ZK? Do you want to learn more about Jam? Do you want to learn more about whatever? And there are environments like the Blockspace that can help you facilitate that your journey, like at a conference.
Absolutely.
And I want to add that we always aim to have 2 rooms. So one room is for whatever speech or educational content, and then there's still space if people just want to hang out or just network, because some people are like, they go there with a certain like number of leads in mind, etc. So we'll always accommodate like people that just want to talk and meet other people.
Absolutely. And at the Blockspace Mansion in Denver, there was even an impromptu sort of Polkadot ecosystem agents meetup, which was very fruitful. So let's jump back to the calendar and kind of round off the events. I'm sure there's a closing party, right? I mean,
always is
a closing party. I mean, we have the Mario 64. Mario Kart's back, little ping pong tournament as well. Tell us about the closing party.
It's coming very soon. We've got about 5 to 6 more events to add. We're constantly, like, if you keep like checking the page every day, there's a new event added. So we're really excited about that. The closing party, usually now we've started doing a ritual of a barbecue. So all the friends that we've made throughout the week, they come together, they eat, and then we sort of close off in a closing party. And now we've sort of had a habit of inviting different people from the ecosystems, and we're actually inviting the guys from On-Chain Growth Summit, to come over and co-host with us. So what I said about inviting different ecosystems, different players, there'll be a lot of marketers interested in Polkadot, and I think Jay is speaking on a panel about the cuz there. So we're all about integrating and how we can make the most of it and get as many eyes in front of Polkadot as possible. So yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so a lot is happening. There's still going to be, as Zoe said, a few events added to the Luma calendar. So for all of our viewers, go over to lu.ma, Luma/join WebZero. Subscribe to the calendar so you get all the updates, and make sure you RSVP and get there early. As Roman mentioned, attendance is not guaranteed, so the earlier you show up, the better your chances. Looking just beyond Berlin Blockchain Week, Polkadot's flagship event, Decoded, last year was adjacent to ECC in Brussels. I've been hearing rumors about some, maybe a little bit of a different type of Polkadot Decoded this year.
It wouldn't be WebZero if we wouldn't change something and surprise people a little bit. But in this case, it wasn't really a surprise. So this was a long time coming. It was already a discussion that was being had like a year ago about marrying SubZero and Decoded, because there's really no good reason to split it up in two events or even do multiple editions per year. Like, we should really focus on one big event and put all of our eggs in that basket, to make it appealing to all target audiences. And we're gonna do this right before DevConnect. And we have an amazing venue secured in Buenos Aires, yes, and it's gonna be absolutely breathtaking. It's probably the most exciting venue we ever worked with.
Wow.
To say the least. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And we want to achieve that. You can think of this event, there's a working title, we don't have a name yet, but the idea is that it really is an all-encompassing conference or festival for Polkadot and the ecosystem, showcasing everything that's happening, not just like technological advancements or product updates, but doing it at the same time. It's mostly the same target audience anyways. And if anybody is in doubt, this venue is much bigger than before, so we have enough space to accommodate both.
Amazing. Really looking forward to that one in Argentina in November. I'm gonna be booking my tickets here, fairly soon. Make sure I get a good flight. Well, guys, thanks so much for jumping on and doing this, and good luck with everything at Berlin Blockchain Week. It's going to be a really fun week, I'm sure. And
thank you so much.
Let's do this again soon.
Yeah,
let's do it.
And
Cool.
where can everyone follow you? How can, I have the Loom up here for people that want to subscribe, but how can they follow you on Twitter?
Same, join WebZero. Same on Twitter, on Telegram, you'll find us. And it's joinwebzero.com is our website easy to catch. Thank you so much. Let's do it again soon. And I'm looking forward to meet everybody in Berlin and show you what we have in store.
Perfect. Sounds good. Danke, as they say.